Yo, what's going on? This is Snapzilla Gorilla. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but are you on speaker?
Yeah, I am. Is this better?
Yeah, it's kind of like you kind of muffled, huh?
Is this better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I got a question for you, man.
All right.
So, we're talking about Trump, right? I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you fully support the Constitution?
Well, yeah, I do. Yes.
Right. And do you fully support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, now, have you heard him talking about calling for strong background checks to purchase firearms?
Not that I've heard. No.
Oh, yeah. He said it. And he also is calling for federal red flag laws. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. He said that, and he said he's calling for strong background checks, real strong background checks. And he said a couple of guys, I think a couple of senators that would not go for that a couple of weeks ago would probably go for that now. And he also, and of course, you know about the him saying he likes take the gun first, due process second.
Yeah, I think I did hear that back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It sounds like he's not really for the Constitution, and the Second Amendment is probably the strongest amendment we have, the strongest bill in the Bill of Rights. And I mean that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
what is your take on that? I mean, you don't have to
Well,
take my
I
word
think
for
that.
it.
I'm gonna go ahead and answer you.
Hmm.
Now, I saw him at the rally. Well, I read some of the article. He was at the rally in Jersey, and he was talking about Virginia, how they're going to try to confiscate guns. He was like, it won't happen on his watch.
Yeah.
So I think he is a defender of the Second Amendment, but it may be to a certain extent. Now, I would want him to just leave things the way they are, but if he were to change it, I can't say that I would vote for a different person because of that particular thing I disagree with. But I hope that he's able to see the light and not do it. There's been things that he's proposed doing that he wound up not doing because of the backlash he got from us. He listens to us. People are talking and saying, hey, don't do this because this ain't really what it is. And then he may change his mind. So hopefully he's able to not actually go through with certain things that he's talking about doing if they are in violation of our rights.
Okay. Now, you are aware he called for the ban of bump stocks, right?
Yeah.
And that actually went through. So that
Yeah.
right there is enough to say that he already violated the Second Amendment. And I don't understand how a staunch supporter of the Constitution, a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment, could still support Trump, even especially with all that talk he's
Now,
been talking.
I got a question for you, though. I got a
Go
question
ahead.
for you.
Hmm.
Where in the Second Amendment does it say anything about bump stocks?
It doesn't. It says the rights to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Point blank
Is a
and
bump
period.
stock a weapon?
It can be attached to a weapon. It can be a part of a weapon. You can
Is
make
it a
it.
weapon, though?
Oh yeah.
Is it a weapon?
Yes. Once you.
A bump stock, wait, hold on. A bump stock by itself, the piece of plastic, the
Okay.
attachment, is weapon by itself?
Yeah. You know why? Can I answer your question?
Come on. Like,
Hold on. The bump stock is a barrel a weapon? What about a trigger?
oh, nah. None of it is a
A
weapon.
pistol
No.
grip? I mean, so you're splitting hairs here. The fact of the matter is the bump
It's not.
stock, yes you are. The bump stock is not used as a paperweight. It becomes part of a weapon, a part of a firearm. And so shall not be infringed, it means shall not be infringed. And I don't understand how we can justify the bump stock is useless to me. The bump stock is
Let's
useless.
be honest. A bump stock is not a weapon.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta. It's not a weapon. You cannot just shoot somebody with a bump stock by itself. Come on, like it's an attachment that goes on a weapon. Like it doesn't. What you're saying doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
The full weapon, the receiver, the trigger,
Yeah.
all of that creates a weapon that would be functional and shoot. That is a weapon.
You
That
just
is
proved my
armed.
point.
A bump stock is not armed. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the bump stock ban, but a bump stock is not a weapon. So you're talking about Constitution. That's not bearing arms. It's an attachment that goes on arms. It is not the arm itself.
But
You're talking
it is an
about
arm.
law, you get laughed out of the court talking about bump stock as a weapon. It's not a weapon.
Yes, because the justice system that's in place is not in place to protect the Second Amendment or the Constitution. So you're absolutely right. I will get laughed out. And, you know for a fact that a buffer spring is not a freaking weapon, right? It's not a firearm. Firing pin is not a firearm. All that stuff are not firearms. But when you assemble the thing and it comes together, it is a firearm. And so really what you're doing is chasing around robbing. And I don't understand
No.
the fact that are you aware?
You're comparing things that are not the same.
Of course they're not the same.
Weapon, you need certain parts to create a weapon.
Exactly.
A bump stock is not required to be part of those things to create the weapon.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. A pistol grip.
It is relevant because you're comparing things that aren't the equivalent, because you're comparing things that are required to make the weapon. If you don't have certain parts of the weapon, it will not be functional.
All right, let's get away from that.
If you don't have a bump stock, wait, hold on. If you don't have the bump stock, it will still be functional. So you can't compare things that are required to things that are not required.
Okay, so let me compare it to a foregrip. Is a foregrip necessary to fire a weapon?
No, it's not.
What about a muzzle brake?
Nah. I mean,
no. So what if they ban?
What's your point?
My point is, what if they ban? It's a slippery slope. What if they ban foregrips federally? What if they ban muzzle brakes federally? And just give you can have now. I mean, you don't need the AR to have a weapon. You can have a shotgun, or you can have a slingshot. Where do we stop?
I think we're comparing. I think we're like you're talking about things like you're trying to say Constitution. Trying to be constitutionalist, and you're talking about accessories. The Constitution says the right to bear arms should not be infringed, not the right to bear accessories. Wait a minute. It does not say the right to bear accessories to firearms shall not be infringed. That's not what it says. So talking about Constitution, let's talk about that. Let's not talk about because if you frame it in the sense of do you agree with this just in general, then I would say no, I don't agree with it. But if you try to say you can't support him because it's anti-constitutional, I say, wait a minute, it does not say this, it does not say that. You can't just say, because you don't agree with it, and then this particular amendment loosely applies, then you're not for the Constitution. That's not how that works.
No, that is how that works. Either you're for the Constitution, either you're for the Second Amendment, or you're not. And the fact of the matter is, it's not just the Second Amendment we're talking about here.
It does not say anything about accessories, so you're creating a thing that's not there.
Okay, so what about the Fourth Amendment?
Talk about things that are there. Talk about things that are there, not things that are not there.
What about the Fourth Amendment? A person shall be secure in his papers, persons, and effects. A bump stock is in effect. So you're going to create a prohibition that at midnight is going to make you a felon if you decide to keep it. So you're going to create arbitrary laws.
So
you're going to create arbitrary laws to make a person a felon that has done nothing wrong to someone else. So that's also in the Constitution.
We're comparing things. We're talking about
no, we're not.
Things. So let's talk about the first thing. The Fourth Amendment. Wait, how is a bump stock in effect?
It's persons, papers, and effects, like things that you own, your property. Your private property.
What makes it in effect? Is there a legal precedent that makes a bump stock in effect, or
legal precedent? You need a legal precedent to understand that your rights are your rights and your property is your property.
We're talking about law. Like I don't care nothing about nothing. We're talking about law.
What's a law?
Right? At the end of the day,
what's a law?
We're talking about law. We ain't talking about nothing else. Because I can say I don't agree with it, but when it comes to the law, that's not nothing to do with me agreeing or not agreeing.
Okay, so
that legal precedent is there to say that a bump stock would be in effect, or if like a bump stock would be in effect. Where's the precedent for that? If there's one, then okay, that's fine. But do you know what it is?
Let me tell you something. I don't care about legal precedents because, like I said, they can create legal precedents all the time that can go against the Constitution. The fact of the matter is, politicians are not for the Constitution. So they create laws that violate people's rights all the time. They send police on the streets to violate your rights all the time. Are you familiar with 18 U.S. Code 242?
No.
Okay, so that's a code that dictates that if you violate a person's rights under the color of law, then you can be fined, or you shall be fined and imprisoned for up to 12 months. And if you kidnap or attempt to kidnap someone while violating their rights under the color of law, then you could be sentenced to life or death. Under the color of law.
What is the color of law?
The color of law, that means that you say, okay, I'm a police officer, you're wearing a mask, and I don't like that, you're suspicious. Give me your identification, let me see your face. And you say, no, what law did I break? It doesn't matter, I want to see your face, I want identification. He can't tell you what law you broke because you didn't break no law. So he's going to arrest you because you refuse to identify yourself either with a picture ID or by giving him your name and showing him your face. So because he doesn't like that you didn't comply with an arbitrary command, he's going to arrest you. That's called kidnapping. And under the 18 U.S. Code 242, he can be sentenced to death for that. But do we enforce it? No. We allow police officers, politicians to run around creating arbitrary laws and enforcing arbitrary laws that violate our rights every day. And that's a fact. So even though you want to call a bump stock not a firearm, fine. But he did say those other things that I said, which already makes him against the Constitution. The fact that he even mentioned it, like, why would you even mention that?
I mean, I think we disagree here.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I'm with you on some things, but not on some things. Like, what I'm with you on is the fact that I'm not for some things that he's calling for as far as gun control is concerned.
Yeah.
But I don't think it violates the Constitution. That's where we differ. And I don't think he's gonna make any headway here. So
just one more question. Just one more question.
It's all good. The chat, they definitely are enjoying it. Some say you're right, some say I'm right. But go ahead with your final question.
Is a red flag law unconstitutional?
I don't know.
It is. It's
Okay,
just you're talking about taking.
What does it violate?
It violates the right to due process. So somebody who's pissed at you can say, "Oh, he has a pistol. Go with his house and take his stuff," without due process, without any, without even a charge. They can go to your house and take your stuff. And people have died under that red flag law in in certain states. And he's calling for a federal red flag law. And Brian Babin and Dan Crenshaw is calling for the TAPS Act, which is a red flag law on steroids. And this is what is being pushed through is a bipartisan bill that's going through Congress right now. And what's going to happen once it reaches the Senate? And what's going to happen once it reaches Trump's desk? That's the question.
Well, hopefully it does not go through federally, but I got to end it right here. You've been on for a while. Thank you for the call, man.
All right, man. Thank you, man. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Peace.
Peace. All right, y'all. Sorry that took a long time to get a hold of him, but y'all heard that. It is what it is. I am for the Second Amendment. I am for our rights to keep and bear arms. I'm for every right, and I'm never going to budge on that. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section about that interview. And yeah, holla at y'all later. Much love to you. Peace out. And hit that like button, share, subscribe. And, ABL, man, I like ABL. He's a smart dude. Really smart. And he's a lot smarter than he's presenting. I mean, he's smart. He's a smart dude. He knows what's going on. And for some reason, he just can't let go of this Trump craze. You know what I mean? So at the farmer's market, I know this woman. She was a staunch Trump supporter. And every week I would go to her and get produce and stuff. And then I would talk to her about Trump. And every week is something, is some defense. Oh, it's 4D chess. Oh, trust Q and all this other stuff. And then just this last weekend, I told her about all these laws that Trump said he's going to back for gun control. And then this past Tuesday, that happened on Saturday. So she's like, oh yeah, I don't know. Oh man, I don't. She said, so what do we do? Like, we got to go with the lesser of two evils. I said, no, we do not. No, we don't have to go with the lesser two evils. What we do is we go a third way. There's always a third or fourth or fifth option. There's always other options. And then on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, she was like, wow, like Trump is tripping. You know what I mean? Like, she said, what is Trump doing? I said, like I told you, he is who he is. So anyway, that after phone conversation ramble went on a little long. So anyway, I'll holler at y'all later. Much love to you, and check you out later. Peace.